Good afternoon, students. Yet another session of our Fundamentals of Accounting open course paper. On that day, we see till what area? Only the definition. Because I'm going in a small in short way only, not too far, too speed like that. So on that day, we see what definition of an accounting. It is the art and science or art of recording, classifying, summarizing in a significant way of what business transactions. The nature of the transaction will be business transaction, and also what and that of a monetary character, money character is there. So that is the definition with regard to accounting. So next we see we are segregating that particular thing into several ways. Means in the definition, it is mentioning that it is the recording of the things, classifying of the things, summarizing of the things, and then interpreting thereof, the results thereof, and thereby that of a monetary nature or monetary character. So, what is that? We will look into today that one. So, look here, accounting is the art of recording, classifying, summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money transactions and events which are at least of a financial nature or character and interpreting the results thereof. In simple sentence, what is that accounting? It is the art as well as the science of recording, classifying, and summarizing the business transactions that are of a financial character and are expressed in terms of മണി സമയത്തിന്റെ മണി പണസംബന്ധമായ കാര്യങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു ഡീലിങ്സ് അല്ലെ റെക്കോർഡിംഗ് ദ തിങ്സ് അതാണ് ആക്ച്വലി എന്തെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അക്കൗണ്ടിംഗ്. സോ അമേരിക്കൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ഓഫ് സർട്ടിഫൈഡ് പബ്ലിക് അക്കൗണ്ടൻസ് ഡിഫൈൻസ് അക്കൗണ്ടിംഗ് ആസ് accounting is the art of recording, classifying, summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of the money, transactions and events which are at least of a financial character and interpreting the results thereof. So we are segregating these things into features of accounting. So, accounting features of accounting. So, features of accounting. From the above, it is clear that accounting has certain features. Accounting has certain features with regard to one is recording of what? Recording the transactions. Business transactions need to record. So recording of business transactions is the basic function of accounting. So recording of what? Business transaction. Recording of business transaction. Then it is concerned with the recording transactions of a financial character in a systematic manner. So the recording of what? Functions. It is concerned with the recording the transactions of a financial nature in a systematic manner. Recording is originally done in a book called a journal. So the recording comes in which book? Oh, journal. Journal items recording. Business transactions are classified into external event and internal event. Externally and internally. ഉള്ളിലുള്ളതും outside. So what is an external event and what is an internal event? An external event involves a transfer or exchange of something of value between two or more entities. External event in the sense means what? Outside area. അതായത് ആ ബിസിനസ് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസിൽ ബിസിനസിന്റെ ഇതിൽ ഔട്ട്സൈഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളത്. സോ transfer or exchange of something of value. Anything relates to this one that two or more entities are involved in that is a case with the external event. So payment of rent to landlord. Rent of the building to the landlord. So എന്താണത്? വാടക ആർക്ക് കൊടുക്കുന്നു? ലാൻഡ്ലോഡിന്. ആര് കൊടുക്കുന്നു? നമ്മൾ. Then purchase of goods from supplier. So purchaser and supplier. Two persons are there. Two more entities are involved in that. So that is the external event. So external event involves a transfer or exchange of something of value between two or more entities. Rando adiladhigamo entities ആയിട്ട് അതായത് ഇൻവോൾവ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്ക് അതിനകത്ത് something of value to be exchanged. For example, payment of rent to the landlord. Rent is to be paid to the landlord from us. So we are there and landlord is there, and what is exchanged? Money is exchanged as what? Rent. So that is payment of rent to the landlord and purchase of goods from supplier. Supplier സാധനങ്ങൾ purchase ചെയ്യുന്നതിന്, or sale of goods to a customer. Customer supplier അല്ലെ seller എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു? Sale of goods. സാധനങ്ങൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നു വിറ്റുവരവിന്. അപ്പൊ അതാണ് ഒരു കേസ് external event. While internal event is an economic event that occurs entirely within one enterprise. ഒരു എന്റർപ്രൈസിന് ഉള്ളിൽ നടക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ. ഇത് outside our organization ആണ്. Purchase of goods from supplier. Supplier നമ്മൾ മേടിക്കുക. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ എവിടുന്ന? outside party. Clear? Like the same, sale of goods to a customer. കസ്റ്റമർക്ക് ഒരു സാധനം വിൽക്കുന്നു. അപ്പൊ കസ്റ്റമറിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ ആ സാധനം മേടിക്കുക, അല്ല കസ്റ്റമർക്ക് നമ്മൾ വിൽക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പൊ കസ്റ്റമർ is an outside person and we are inside the organization. So that is external event. So transfer or exchange of something of any of value between two or more entities are there. That is called an external event. While internal event is an economic event that occurs entirely within one enterprise. Or enterprise in ഉള്ളിൽ നടക്കുന്നത്, അതാണ് internal event. So examples are transfer of material from one department to another department of the same concern. നമ്മുടെ ഇതില് ഫാക്ടറിയില് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റും പർച്ചേസിംഗ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റും ഉണ്ട്. പർച്ചേസിംഗ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്രൊക്യൂർമെന്റ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് എന്ന് വെച്ചു. പ്രൊക്യൂർമെന്റ് അല്ലെ പർച്ചേസിംഗ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു സാധനം പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലോട്ട് കൊടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ കേസ് ഓഫ് ഇന്റേണൽ ഇവന്റ്. Moving of item within the organization from one department to another, that is called what? This one, external event, internal event. Supply of raw material from stores to production. Raw material, അസംസ്കൃത വസ്തുക്കൾ എങ്ങോട്ട് പോകുന്നു? പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലോട്ട് സ്റ്റോറിൽ നിന്ന് പോകുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ കേസ് വിത്ത് റിഗാർഡ് ടു വിച്ച് വൺ? Supply of raw materials to production from stores to production department is a best example for internal event. Hope you understand this one. So recording of the business transaction, and in which book it is? It is a book called a journal that you are studying in the near days. So at least you need to familiar with this recording. What is recording? Recording in the sense means what? Recording the business transactions that of a financial nature. അങ്ങനെയുള്ളത് മാത്രം. Okay? And in which book it is to be recorded? It is to be recorded in the journal. So that is the case with regard to first one, features or functions of accounting, recording. Recording includes external event also and internal event also. While next is what? Classifying. So after recording, classify it in based on the nature of the transaction. So classifying. Classify. Classification is concerned with the systematic analysis of the recorded data with a view to bring the transactions or entries of similar nature to one place. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് ഓർക്കേണ്ടത്. റെക്കോർഡിംഗ് എവിടെയാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്? റെക്കോർഡിംഗ് is done in the journal, while classification is done in the ledger, another book called ledger. ഇപ്പോൾ ക്യാഷ് റിലേറ്റഡ് തിങ്സ് ആണെങ്കിൽ എല്ലാം എങ്ങോട്ട് പോകും? ക്യാഷ് ആകും. ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ആണെങ്കിൽ പാർട്ടിയുടെ പേര്. അപ്പം ഓരോ ഇതിനും ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ഓഫ് ദ തിങ് അല്ലെ, ഫ്രം വൺ പേഴ്സൺ ടു അനദർ. സോ ജേണലിൽ എഴുതിയ ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ അതിനെ ലെഡ്ജറിലോട്ട് ആക്കുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസ് ദാറ്റ് ആർ ഓഫ് സിമിലർ നേച്ചർ. ക്യാഷ് എല്ലാം ഒരിടത്ത്, ക്രെഡിറ്റ് എല്ലാം ഒരിടത്ത്, സ്റ്റേഷനറി എല്ലാം അതിന്റെ സ്റ്റേഷനറി അക്കൗണ്ടില്. അതാണ് ലെഡ്ജർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, അല്ലെ ക്ലാസിഫൈയിങ് ദ റെക്കോർഡഡ് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സോ classification is concerned with, once again, classification is concerned with the systematic analysis of the recorded data Analyzing the recorded data, വിശകലനം ചെയ്യുന്നു on the basis of the nature of the transaction occurred. Clear? With a view to bring the transactional entries of the similar nature to one place. ഒരിടത്ത് കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടി. അപ്പൊ ക്യാഷ് സംബന്ധമായിട്ടുള്ളതെല്ലാം ക്യാഷ് അക്കൗണ്ടിലോട്ടും, അല്ലെ ക്യാഷ് സംബന്ധമായിട്ടുള്ളതെല്ലാം ക്യാഷ് ഏരിയയിലോട്ടും, ക്രെഡിറ്റ് സംബന്ധമായിട്ടുള്ളതെല്ലാം ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ഏരിയയിലോട്ടും, ആൾക്കാർക്ക് സംബന്ധമായിട്ടുള്ളതെല്ലാം ആൾക്കാരുടെ അക്കൗണ്ടിലോട്ടും, അങ്ങനെ that of the similar nature it is to be segregated. Adana classification. Clear? Then the work of classification is done in the book known as ledger. In ledger, financial transactions of similar nature are brought under one page called the account. So ledger nathana endu varunathu account ennulla bhagam varunathu. Allengil ledger neയാണ് എന്ത് ഓരോ സിംഗിൾ അക്കൗണ്ട് ആയിട്ട് എഴുതുന്നതിനാണ് എന്തെന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, that is ledger. So that is the classification of the recorded data based on the which one? Similar nature. Based on the nature, similar nature to one place. So that is called classification. So once again, classification is concerned with the systematic analysis of the recorded data with a view to bring such transactions or entries of similar nature to one place. I think you understand now classification. So recording of business transactions in journal. From the journal, it is to be passed on to an account called ledger accounts, where what is done, that of similar nature to be recorded at a or to be placed at a one place. So cash sambandhamayitte endelu ezhunundengil that comes in the cash area, credit sambandhamayittundengil that comes in the credit area, like that. So that is called classifying the things or classifying the recorded data. That is the second function or the feature with regard to accounting. This is very important. What is accounting and what are its features? It will ask in the questions. Next, summarizing. Summarizing the data. It is the presentation of the classified data in a manner understandable and useful to the internal users like different levels of management and the external users like bankers, creditors, investors, etc. So, presentation of the classified data. Record chedu. After recording, it is to be classified based on the similar nature. Okay. Then we prepare the ledger accounts. From the ledger accounts, it is the useful data to be passed on to internal users as well as external users. Internal users means different levels of managers or in the management. External users like who? Creditors, bankers, financial institutions for lending purposes. Clear? Investors, etc. It involves the preparation of the income statement. Summarizing preparing the income statement. വരുമാനം കാണിക്കുന്നത്, അതായത് trading and P&L account and financial position like balance sheet. So income is summarizing in the option what involves the preparation of an income statement as well as the position statement called a balance sheet. So summarizing in the classifying the data in a manner. So presentation of the classified data. After recording, it should be on the basis of the nature it occurs, it is classified. After classifying, it should be presented in a valuable manner to those who interested inside the company and outside the company. So that is summarizing. So presentation of the classified data in a manner understandable and useful to the internal users as well as the external users. Internal users may be inside the management, means managers, accountants, etc. Different levels of management. And external users like bankers, creditors, investors, etc. For they are checking the things and how the company is in a suitable financial position or not, whether to lend money to that company, like that. They need to take several decisions. For that purpose, summarizing the data means what? Presenting the thing, presenting the classified thing that is to be in an understandable manner to the internal users as well as the external users. That is summarizing. For that purpose, we are preparing what? Income statement and a position statement. Only these to be known. For the time being, you need to know this is the one: income statement and a position statement. Income statement means what? Trading and profit and loss account. How much income is to be generated? അതായത് വരുമാനം എന്തുമാത്രം ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതാണ് ഇൻകം സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റിനെ പ്രതിനിധീകരിക്കുന്നത്. Trading and profit and loss account. While position statement is what? The balance sheet. So that is the next point. Third one, summarizing the classified data. That is presenting the data, classified data in an understandable way to the internal as well as external users. That is the third one. Fourth is what? So recording, classifying, summarizing, then analysis and interpretation. Analysis and interpretation. It is what? The financial data recorded is analyzed and interpreted in such a way that the end users can make meaningful judgment about the financial condition of the business. So, based on the summarizing data, classified data to be summarized and giving information from income statement and position statement, the end users or the outside users, external users, can make decision or judgment regarding the financial position of the business. Whether this company, if our company is giving any loan or financial help to that company, then our company's reputation will be high or not, will be increased or not, based on which one? These two: income statement and position statement. That is this analysis and interpretation. So analyzing the data from the summarized thing and interpreting it. വിശകലനം ചെയ്ത് തീരുമാനത്തിലെത്തുന്നു. Clear? That is analysis and interpretation. So the financial data recorded is analyzed and interpreted in such a way that the end users can make a meaningful judgment about the financial condition of the business. Next is communication. Communication in the sense means what? Fifth one, communication. Communication in the sense means after having meaningfully analyzed and interpreted, the accounting information has to be communicated in a proper form to the proper person. അവർക്ക് താല്പര്യമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവർ നമ്മളെ intimation നൽകും. അപ്പൊ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? We need to communicate in the correct way to those people. This is done through preparation and distribution of accounting reports such as ratios, graphs, diagrams, etc. in addition to the usual profit and loss account and balance sheet. അപ്പം നമ്മുടെ പൊസിഷൻ നമ്മൾ അവരെ കാണിക്കുകയാണ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അവർക്ക് താല്പര്യമുണ്ട്, അവരെ ഇന്റിമേഷൻ തന്നു. So based on that, we are communicating the valuable information with the position statement and the income statement. അതാണ് communication. So these are the features with regard to which one? Accounting. Nice. Recording the business transaction, and it is done in a book called the journal. Once again, just a briefing. Recording the business transaction in a book called a journal, and after recording the business transaction in that book, next step is classifying the recorded transaction on the basis of the similar nature it occurs. In such a case, how it is to be classified? Classifying the business transactions on the similar nature it occurs, and it is to be done in a book called a ledger. From the ledger, so after preparing the ledger, this information is to be passed through the end users. End users means maybe internal users, means inside the management, and external users means outside the management. External users means maybe who the creditor is there, the lender is there. Lender in the sense means those who lend the money, give the money. Okay, and also bankers are there. Based on this, so presentation of the classified data in an understandable manner to the end users. End users may be, it may be useful for the internal as well as external users. That is the summarizing the thing. For that purpose, they need to prepare income statement and a balance sheet, position statement. So income statement is nothing other than trading and profit and loss account, and position statement is what? The balance sheet. And after that, summarization, analyzing the summarized data and interpreting it and passing this to the others. That is the feature with regard to which one? Accounting. So analysis and interpreting the summarized data. Therefore, based on what? Based on these data, meaningful judgment should be taken by the external users. Okay, meaningful judgment should be taken by the external users about the financial condition and whether, based on this, they need to extend help, financial help to the company or not. They are making the decision based on this. So that is analysis and interpretation. After analysis and interpretation, it should be communicated to the end users, means the external users or the other one, in a proper form, in the proper way, okay, to the proper person in the other case, other area. And this is done through on what basis? Preparation and distribution of accounting reports along with the income statement and the position statement. Okay, so these are the features with regard to which one? Accounting. So recording the things, classifying the things, summarizing the things, analysis and interpretation, and finally communicating. So these are the features with regard to which one? Features with regard to accounting. So we see what are the features with regard to accounting. Next is what? Objectives with regard to accounting. What are objectives, or what is the purpose behind this thing is to be undertaken? That is the objectives with regard to accounting. So what are its objectives? As you people know, what is going to be there in accounting? Firstly, recording the transaction, and then from the recorded transaction, it is to be classified, and from the classification, it is to be summarized. And after summarizing the data, then analyzing the thing, interpreting the thing, and finally communicating. Based on this is the way the business is to be carried out. So based on this, what are the objectives with regard to an accounting? So we will look into that, and then we will wind up the session for today. So what is that? The most important objective of accounting is to provide information to the interested users to enable them to make a business decision. That's the main thing. So those who are interested in getting information for our business, in such a case, based on that, need to make a business decision. The necessary information in the case of external users such as bankers, investors, and creditors are provided in the income statement and the position statement, which are the basic financial statement that I previously told you. Income statement means trading and profit and loss account, and balance sheet means what? Position statement means what? Balance sheet. From these, we are getting, or they need to get, the exact position of the business, whether that business is moving in a sound way, the smooth way. Based on these two statements, the investors will get, or the bankers will get. So decisions is to be taken based on the information passed. So based on this, what are the primary objectives with regard to this one? We will look into that. First is maintenance of a record of business. Maintenance of record of business. The main purpose of accounting is to identify the business transactions of a financial nature and enter them into appropriate books of accounts. So that is the main purpose. Main thing is what? Identify the business transactions of the financial nature. Goods to goods ആണെങ്കിൽ എഴുതേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. കാരണം എന്താ? Transferring of goods to goods പഴയ ബാർട്ടർ സിസ്റ്റത്തിന്റെ ഇതാണെങ്കിൽ we no need to, what is that? No need to record anywhere. no need to record anywhere. So that is maintain the records of business means identify the business transactions of the financial nature or character and enter them into appropriate books of accounts. Business transactions are classified as assets, liabilities, revenue, and expenditure. So assets, liabilities, both items of balance sheet, revenue, and expenses, P&L and trading. So you need to identify in this way, or keeping in mind in this way, assets and liabilities are the items of the balance sheet, and revenue and expenses are the items of the P&L or trading account. P&L and trading account. അതായത് വരുമാനവും ചെലവും എവിടെ വരും? P&L and trading account. Assets and liability, ആസ്തികളും ബാധ്യതകളും എവിടെ വരും? Balance sheet. So that is the case. Then the accounting expenses and accordingly pass through the books. Accounting records should be made properly and systematically so that requisite information may be obtained at a glance. At a glance, we are getting what? The information. So that is why we need to maintain separate accounts as ledgers. Ledgers എന്നാണ് അതിന്റെ പേര്. അപ്പൊ അതാണ് മെയിൻ്റനൻസ് ഓഫ് റെക്കോർഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ബിസിനസ്. അതായത് പ്രോപ്പർ ബിസിനസ് റെക്കോർഡ്സ് മെയിൻറ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്യുക. ഏത് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ നടന്നോ ആ ഡേറ്റിൽ തന്നെ അന്നേരം തന്നെ അത് റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്തു വെക്കുക. Without any delay, we need to record the transaction. So that is in the appropriate books of accounts. Therefore, business transactions are classified into assets, liabilities, revenue, and expenditure, and accordingly pass through the books. Therefore, accounting records should be made properly and systematically so that the requisite information may be obtained at a glance. Next is second one, calculation of profit or loss. Profit or loss calculation. So what is that? Earning profit is the main purpose for which a business is carried on. The information available from the statement prepared for ascertaining is called a profit and loss account. അത്രയാണ് അതിന്റെ ഇതൊന്ന് ഓർക്കേണ്ടതുള്ളൂ. കാര്യം എന്താ? കാൽക്കുലേഷൻ ഓഫ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ഓർ ലോസ്, അതായത് ട്രേഡിംഗ് അക്കൗണ്ട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അതിന്റെ നെറ്റ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് അല്ല, അറ്റാദായം കാണാനല്ല, അതിന്റെ ഗ്രോസ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് കാണാൻ, അതായത് സെയിൽസ് മൈനസ് എക്സ്പെൻഡിച്ചർ. അത് മാത്രമല്ലല്ലോ ഉള്ളത്, ബാക്കി ഡയറക്റ്റ് എക്സ്പെൻസസ് അല്ലാത്ത ഇൻഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളതെല്ലാം ഉണ്ട്. അതെല്ലാം എവിടെ വരും? പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ലോസ് അക്കൗണ്ടിൽ വരും. സോ അതാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്, ഏർണിംഗ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ഇസ് ദ മെയിൻ പർപ്പസ് ഓഫ് ഫോർ വിച്ച് ദ ബിസിനസ് ഈസ് ക്യാരിഡ് ഔട്ട്. ആൻഡ് ഇൻ സച്ച് എ ബുക്ക്, സച്ച് എ തിങ്, ദ ബുക്ക് മെയിൻറ്റൈൻഡ് ഫോർ പ്രിപ്പയറിംഗ് ദിസ് വൺ ഈസ് ദ പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ലോസ് അക്കൗണ്ട്. അതായത് ഏർണിംഗ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ഓർ ലോസ്, അതാണ് അതിന്റെ മെയിൻ പർപ്പസ്. ആ ഒരു ഇത് നടത്തുന്നതിന് തന്നെ എന്തിനാണ്? പ്രോഫിറ്റ് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. So, earning profit is the main purpose for which a business is carried on, and this information is available from the statement prepared for ascertaining the profit. So, or loss, and it is called a profit and loss account. And third is what? Depiction of the financial position. Depiction means what? We are checking the financial position. At the end of the accounting period, a position statement called a balance sheet is to be prepared. The value of assets and liabilities are depicted in the balance sheet. Depicted means it is to be shown in the balance sheet. എന്തുമാത്രം ആസ്തികളുണ്ട് നമുക്ക്, നമ്മുടെ സ്വന്തമായിട്ടുള്ള എന്തുമാത്രം ഉണ്ട്, ക്യാഷ് ഒക്കെ നമ്മുടെ സ്വന്തമാണ്. ആഫ്റ്റർ പേയിങ് ബാക്ക്, ഗെറ്റിംഗ് ദ റവന്യൂ ആൻഡ് പേയിങ് ബാക്ക് ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് ദാറ്റ്, ആൻഡ് എക്സ്ട്രാ എമൗണ്ട് ഈസ് ടു ബി റിസീവ്ഡ് ഫ്രം സംവെയർ എൽസ്, then the net effect, that is the net profit. ആ നെറ്റ് പ്രോഫിറ്റിന്റെ ബേസിൽ നമുക്ക് എന്തുമാത്രം ആസ്തികളുണ്ട്, നമുക്ക് എന്തെല്ലാം കൊടുത്ത് തീർക്കാനുണ്ട്, അതാണ് അസറ്റ്സ് as well as liability. That is should be depicted where? Depicted in the balance sheet, financial position statement. Balance sheet gives a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the concern. So that is true and fair position of the state of affairs of the concern. That is why it is called a position statement. Once again, depiction of financial position. അതായത് പൊസിഷൻ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുക. അതിനകത്തുനിന്ന് എന്ത് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടും? വാല്യൂ ഓഫ് ദ അസറ്റ്സ് is to be get, value of the liabilities also to be get, and that is to be shown in the balance sheet itself, and thereby we are in a position whether the business is in a sound way or not going on. That is this point, depiction of the financial position. And the last one is what? Last point is making information available to the users. Fourth point, making information available to users. Making information available to users. The result obtained from accounting records may be communicated to the interested parties like owners, investors, creditors, bankers, government, employees, etc. Interested parties are there, outside people. Inside this one, only the managers need to know the financial position or the profit or loss calculated, while outside parties are waiting for that. So we are providing such information to the outside party, like owners are there, investors are there, creditors are there, bankers are there, government is there, employees also there. Therefore, accounting makes the information available to all those interested parties. So available information to be passed to the interested parties. That is the fourth, which one? Objective with regard to accounting. So what are the objectives? Maintenance of records of business. I think you are familiar with this now. Means records of business, where in the ledger and also in the journal. Then after that, calculation of the profit or loss. Some records of business should be systematically in the correct way, putting the date and when and record it in the chronological order. അതായത് ഇന്ന് നടന്ന ഒരു ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ 5 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞല്ല റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, ഇന്ന് തന്നെ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യണം. അതാണ് അതിന്റെ ഒറിജിനൽ വേ. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് വേ ഓഫ് റെക്കോർഡിംഗ് ദ ബിസിനസ്. അതുവഴി മെയിൻറ്റെയിനിങ് ദ ബുക്സ് ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ഫ്രം ദ ബുക്സ് കാൽക്കുലേഷൻ ഓഫ് പി ആൻഡ് എൽ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ഓർ ലോസ്. കാൽക്കുലേഷൻ ഓഫ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ഓർ ലോസ് ഫ്രം ദി പി ആൻഡ് എൽ അക്കൗണ്ട്, അതായത് ഇൻകം സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ്. ആൻഡ് ദെൻ depiction of financial position. What is that? The true financial structure or the strength with regard to that particular company, that is to be depicted in their balance sheet with the showing of the assets and the liability. Adana depiction of financial position. And next is making the information available to whom? The end users or users, outside party, whether to invest it, whether to provide loans to the company, like that. Adana accounting makes the information available to the users, outside parties. Okay, like investors are there, owners are there, creditors are there, bankers are there, employees are there, government also there. So these are the objectives with regard to which one? Accounting. So today we checked what all things? Features with regard to accounting and objectives with regard to accounting. Features are what all there? Recording the transaction, then classifying the recorded transaction based on the similar nature, then summarizing the things and it should be presented to the correct way to the outside. For that purpose, summarizing the transaction, and after that, analyzing the summarized transactions and interpreting it. Interpreting in the sense means taking decisions, and after interpreting as well as analyzing the summarized transactions, it should be communicated to the available users, outside people. Adana available users. Okay, and then communication to be provided to the available users. Therefore, recording the transaction, classifying it, summarizing it, analyzing and interpretation, and communicating the things thereof to the outside people or end users. So this is the main features with regard to accounting. Next we see objectives of accounting. What are the objectives with regard to, or what purpose this accounting is to be dealt with? Objectives are maintaining the records of business. That is the two part, recording and classifying the things. Adana ഇതിനകത്ത് objectives, main objectivenathu varunathu. എന്തിനാ ഈ objective എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്നത്? For the end users, whether to decide decisions regarding whether to lend the money to this company, okay, or what is the sound financial position of the company for the owners. In such a way, they are taking decisions. Both decisions need to be taken care in the near future based on the information past. So that is maintenance of records of business. Hope you understand this part. Second is what? After the maintaining the systematic records of business, we need to prepare what? The profit and loss account, or calculating the, ascertaining the profit or loss. Ascertaining the profit or loss. So for that purpose, we need to prepare the income statement or profit and loss account. Income statement alle profit and loss account. So students, hope you understand. The second point, objectives, P&L preparation or calculating the profit or loss. Third is what? After preparation, depicting the financial position. Financial position in the sense means we already got the net profit from where? P&L account. And from the P&L account, that is to be taken care, and almost all our assets is also to be taken care, and all the liabilities to be taken care. How much we need to owe to somebody, and how much are the assets with us. Okay, so these to be mentioned in a statement way, and that is called the balance sheet, the position statement. So after preparing the income statement, we need to prepare the position statement, that is the balance sheet. And after the preparing the balance sheet, it shows the sound position, whether the financially sound or weak that particular company. From which one? Balance sheet. If liability is greater than asset, it is a weak position. If assets are greater than liability, the sound position. That you keep it in mind. So that is. So financially sound എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? Assets is greater than liability. If weak എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാലോ? Assets less than liability. അസറ്റ് കുറവാണ് ലയബിലിറ്റിയെക്കാട്ടിലും, ദെൻ വീക്ക് ആണ്. ലയബിലിറ്റി കൂടുതലാണ്, നമ്മൾ കൊടുത്ത് തീർക്കേണ്ടത് കൂടുതൽ, അതാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. വൈൽ ഫിനാൻഷ്യലി സൗണ്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാലോ? അസറ്റ്സ് ഗ്രേറ്റർ ദാൻ ലയബിലിറ്റി, ബാധ്യതയെക്കാട്ടിലും കൂടുതൽ ആസ്തിയാണ്. ഓക്കെ, and that is should be shown from the financial position, and it should be depicted where? In the position statement called a balance sheet. And then finally making the information available to the end users. End users may be decision making. For decision making, they are doing this. So communicating this to the interested parties. Communicating this to the interested parties like the owners, the investors, the creditors, the bankers, the government, or the employees, or anybody that are not involved in the business. Internal users എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അവർക്ക് ഇത് ജസ്റ്റ് നെറ്റ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് അല്ലെ നെറ്റ് ലോസ് അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. എക്സ്റ്റേണൽ യൂസേഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അവർക്ക് ഡിസിഷൻ മേക്കിങ്ങിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് ഈ ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ അക്കൗണ്ടിങ് therefore accounting provides valuable information to the outsiders for making further decisions in the business. So today we see what features of accounting as well as objectives of accounting. Hope you enjoyed the session, and please go through the study material, and also if any people having any doubt, any students having any doubt, please let me know. For today, I am going to wind up the session. Please call me if there is any doubt. Thank you.